A messy bun.
Yeah. Is that a thing?
A messy mom bun.
Are we rolling?
Yeah. Okay.
You look like a fucking nerd, Dylan. Look at those glasses.
When you were little, did you like want glasses and braces?
I did.
Yeah.
But I never had them.
Yeah. All I ever wanted was like glasses and braces. Like my best case scenario was like Anne Hathaway, like pre-Princess and Princess Diaries. I wanted to break my arm. I wanted a cast.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, John Anderson broke his arm like 3 times in a row, and he had a million casts. I never was jealous of that. I was like,
that sucks. Well, because you saw it up close.
But I also kind of thought like it's a thing that happens to everybody. Like everybody breaks a bone.
Everybody breaks a bone.
I was like, oh, okay, I'll get that. But I never
did. That was actually my first single off my first album.
Everybody breaks a bone. Keep going. Keep going. I'm going to ad-lib it in the background.
Doesn't mean you'll end up alone.
Alone.
That's not ad-libbing. That's just saying the same word again.
I learned from Diddy. Not only a great producer,
but
a great
predator.
Man. A great man.
Anyway.
That was all you're going to do with the song?
Oh, well, you were interrupting me, but...
No, I wasn't. I was ad-libbing. Let's work on our... Let's have a... Can we renew our vows here?
No, thank you.
Because is it going to hurt your feelings?
Yes. Anything you say will hurt my feelings. If you are giving me a compliment, think again. Yeah. I'll cry.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what it's like to be a woman in the world.
Well, I've been working
That's off the second. That's a sophomore album. It was a flop.
Yeah. People were like, get back to the basics.
It's like that Katy Perry album that just dropped, and people were like, this is regressive. And she's like, what? What do you mean?
Did you see the video?
Yeah, of course. I showed it to you.
Porn.
When I went to the Who Weekly podcast live, he made a Sims version of the song and the music video, and then like at the end of the song, like the entire house catches on fire and all the Sims are on fire and they're just like burning, but she's like still singing. She's like huge boobs. It's really funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She is very naked in the video and clearly hit the Ozemp hard, and then is like,
well, she went through the breakup.
It's all about girl power. And I'm like, well, you're nude.
It's like we're lucky to be living in a woman's world, and there's just like this terrible regressive video. I don't know.
Everybody's confused.
You didn't watch the DNC last night, but you missed a great speech by Kamala.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Yes. The whole thing was so well produced. Like, I have to give it up. Like, the Democrats like took notes. Like, they took notes and they did better.
I'm surprised you want to talk politics.
I don't really want to talk politics. I want to talk performance.
Let's talk performance, because I saw Keenan from SNL on the DNC the night before. So tell me about Kamala.
Electric. Like, first of all, her sister spoke last night. Her sister is a slay. Okay? Like, her sister is a slay.
I thought you were going to say her sister's a slut.
A slut? No.
She said slut, and I was like, where's she going?
Really?
Her sister, first of all, is a slut.
No, guys. No. No, she's not a slut. She's the bomb. She talked about her sister in this way that was like, what's the opposite of cringe? Like, it was perfect. Like, she just like nailed it. Yeah. And then it was like they had everyone on who was like the heavy hitters. Like, they saved everyone for last night. Yeah. And they had that Republican guy who's like now switching sides. They had all the veteran elected officials got on stage together. It was really powerful. They did a whole segment about gun control and had all these people on who had lost someone in like school shootings. I did have to turn it off at that point because I could not even handle that. Yeah. But Kamala came out and it was like her tone was sane. It was clear. The messaging was clear, but she acted human. Like, obviously the crowd went nuts for her and certain things she said, people like lost their minds. And she reacted like a normal person would, and like actually engaged. I mean, obviously the crowd's huge, but like she engaged in the sense that she understood what was happening in the room. It was like, I haven't seen in a long time, some candidate get up there, like presidential or otherwise, who just seemed like they were in touch with reality. Like she went through her whole background. I know it's political. I know they're like selling everyone on a story. That's fine. That's what everyone's doing. But her story was like one of like, hi, like I'm conscious. Like I'm aware of like what's happened in the past 2 years and like I'm not afraid to talk about it. She talked about like, you know, commander-in-chief stuff. I mean, it was really good. She had the former defense secretary on it. I thought she did great.
Well, that's great. I don't know who produced it, but
Lorne Michaels.
Lorne Michaels did produce it. The only thing I saw was that Keenan was talking and they were like going to do like a Skype call and then be like, well, too bad, kid, that job won't exist anymore under Trump. And you know, but the first, like, what's the thing? Prop 2025 or something? Mm-hmm. Right. So he's holding that and he's going, well, if this goes through, you won't, whatever.
Right.
So then the first guy, the Skype call or the Zoom call did not work. And the comedian in Keenan wanted to immediately go, he had this look in his eye like, man, they can't even get this Zoom call right for the fucking DNC. But he didn't say that. He just looked like, all right, I guess we're moving on to Angela. And it was, I looked at him and I was like, he wants so badly to make this joke, but he knows that he's going to get sniped by the CIA if he's negative. Wait, I don't want to talk about the DNC though, because I didn't watch it.
Okay, we don't have to. I'm just saying it was a strong performance, and I feel like it also just shows that candidates can be coached, and like when you
if they're alive,
yes, if they
are cogent,
if they understand what year it is and what time of day it is, they probably can be coached. And like, well, you know what it made me think of was like, because everyone's speech is like pretty short, right? Like they come out, they make one point and they kind of move on, which is good. I felt like it reminded me of like when people make wedding toasts and you're like, just say one thing. And it doesn't even have to be funny. It can just be one nice thing and then move it along. You can just be like, I remember when they met and it was really magical. Anyway, cheers to the happy couple. It does not have to be a 17-minute saga of every inside joke you've ever had.
Yeah, usually women do that. It was brutal.
Noah.
We've seen many, many bad ones. We were at one wedding, though, where the dad literally goes, I want to make a toast to the happiest life for the couple. Clink. And it was like true toast. And we were like standing over. Yeah,
incredible.
We've been at ones where we had to refill the drinks 3 or 4 times.
I went to one where
bathroom breaks.
My uncle literally went to the bathroom because he was like, he's filibustering. Like, this is never going to end. And we're all sitting here prisoners because you can't even get up to refill your drink because it seems like you're being rude. Yeah. But you're not. You're just like an alcoholic.
I like the one where the priest on the altar was like, and remember, ladies, if he's trying to watch the game,
oh my God,
shut up. And we were like, woo. And he's like, in the name of Christ.
I was like, he was like, can I get an amen? We're like, no, what? He's like, football Sunday? Like, I don't.
Especially if the Eagles are on. I was like, half applause.
Stop. Anytime the priest is making jokes, I'm like, wow.
Well, let me tell you something.
Okay.
Public speaking is a skill, as you know.
I do know.
As a comedian, and it's one of our pet peeves when people are bad. I did bomb one once, obviously, at Nick Lake's.
Yes.
I don't know what I was thinking. I had no plan. I was like, something will come to me. And I just absolutely, and I went first.
This is what I'm saying. Like, people have no plan, and they, even like the best speakers, if you don't have a plan, it's bad. And you really have to just, like, it's kind of a similar rule to stand up. Like, we were talking about this like a couple weeks ago. It's like, if you get a big laugh or you get a big reaction or you get the big applause, get out of there. Forget the rest of the speech. Go. Just raise your glass and get the heck out.
Alyssa, I went for one more Saturday. I don't know if I haven't told this on the pod, but a set out
Saturday.
Saturday was Comedians You Should Know.
Oh, yeah.
So it's our pet peeve. We've talked about it before. Is you get the light, and Dylan's a comic, right?
Yes.
So listen to the words of the great Noah Savage here.
Yikes.
You get the light, you got 2 in the chamber. You do the first one, you get a big laugh. Thank you. Goodbye. You're great at this. You've helped me with this. But Saturday, I was on a lineup where Simeon Goodson was on, who is pound for pound, the hardest crusher probably I've ever seen. He gets on stage, he immediately starts crushing, and he crushes every time I've seen him. So I go, hope I'm
He's
not.
sponsored by Orange Crush.
Is he?
No.
Oh. Wait, I don't even get that joke. Oh, because he crushes. Ugh, very stupid.
I'm like, wait, let me break it down for you. It's a very cerebral joke.
So he crushes first. He goes first. He also reintroduced himself to me, met him a bunch of times, and then asked me how long I've been doing stand-up, and I was like, 15 years. And he's like, oh. He was trying to kind of be like, you don't have to be nervous. And I was like, I'm not.
You're like, this is just how my face looks.
Yeah, it's like you're doing okay. I'm like, yeah, I know I am. So a bunch of comics go after. They do fine. It wasn't like nobody could follow him. And then when I go up, half the room
Leaves.
either leaves, goes to the bathroom, or gets a beer because there's no waiter. There's nobody. There's no waiter, and I sound like the dude from 90 Day.
Waiter is spelled Waiture. Waiter. Ask the waiter for a glass of water.
What was her name with the from California with the India dude?
Jenny.
Jenny, I love you, Jenny. That's what it sounded like.
I love them.
So I get on stage and I'm getting basically either nothing or just ambient shuffling noise, and then it moves to a low gurgle of noise of laughter, then a true laugh. And I just have that moment where I go, old me would have been so hard on myself that I'm not just like crush, crush, crush. I would have been like, what are you guys, fucking stupid Brooklyn assholes? I would have just like lit into the crowd. But instead I go, you're fine. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. 2 applause breaks. Light comes on right as I'm ending the second applause break. But I go for one more. And I got them to, I got them again. But I could have just been putting the mic up with the applause.
Listen.
Brutal.
People are overconfident. You get one big laugh. It's literally like part of wanting to do stand-up, right? Like you're always chasing like at some point in your life, people reacted really strongly to something you said or did, and you felt good. And then you go, you know what I want to do? Feel like that again. So then you're just chasing it. And you seem desperate because you are, and then you go, you get something that's like kind of close to that feeling that you had, and you're like, double down, and then literally they hate you, and you're like, you plummet. Like it's like you're actually way down lower than you were in the first place, and it is a miserable existence.
Well, the mistake I made was that Lizzie Cassidy, who went before me, the last 6 minutes of her set were like almost exclusively sex jokes. And she did very well. But then I came in with some BS about whatever, The Office. And then when I did turn slightly dirty, the audience was like,
So you just should have started with dirty.
It was Saturday night late show. People were like,
let's talk about sex.
They're like, you guys want to get real about sex in the 90s? Let's talk about having safe sex. Wasn't there a lot of that energy growing up?
I was terrified of sex, and we had sex ed, but it was very much like from a place of fear.
Oh, ours was always a guy with 2 earrings who's like, it's okay to talk about sex. And we're like, you're sleeping with 4 of the students, clearly. Like,
yeah.
There's always like a cool, turn his hat around. Let's get real, guys. Hey, there's no teachers in the room.
We had a health teacher who was like, like my parents' age. And we had one in middle school and then one in high school. And people really liked him. Like he was a teacher that everyone really liked. He was like a nice guy. He had like a fun personality. And like, he didn't like make it weird. Like he was just like, these are the facts or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was still very much like coming from a boomer. So he was like very much like the Mean Girls, like, if you have sex, you will get pregnant and die. Like it was like we were all walking out of there like, whoo, like someone tell. Like,
well, I was a year younger in school because I'm smart, as you know, Alyssa. I was pushed ahead because I'm so gifted, and I remember the first even like puberty talk, and I was next to this kid Eric, who was a freaking nerd, like Dylan over there. He was like a drawer. And
a drawer.
It was like an illustrator. He was he drew this.
No, Julia Johns drew this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's also a very talented
She's a drawer.
I don't know who did that font. I think it was her.
We gotta update it. I'm gonna talk to Julia.
Yeah. What you want to do is just slide my name out, move your name up, kind of eliminate.
Plink that head right up.
Yeah, your head comes in, and then it's just you. And although
You should put like my head like here.
I will pay for you.
Like somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. Like just put
tiny
me
little
like
head. We are going to put your little head over there. No, in New York. We're going to put your little tiny head.
No, I want to be like in Greenland or something.
But it's not as big. It's the curvature of the map. You think it's big, it's not.
I know.
You know what small Greenland is? God damn it. I would pay for you to just sit here and Dylan feeds you topics from People Magazine and you talk for an hour, by the way. So
you'll pay me money to do that?
Huh?
Okay.
I'll rent you the studio space, like a Tim Dillon style. You're just talking and he just goes, what about this? Oh, Shakira, enough.
I mean, but also like enough with Shakira. Should pay her taxes.
I love Shakira. She's someone who's gotten hotter with age. But wait, I want to tell you about my because I want to hear about the Apple Store.
Okay.
But first, I want to tell you quick about my feud with the lady in the Yonkers golf course.
Okay.
All right. So I had to buy new golf spikes because my spikes apparently are going to tear up your brother's nice country club.
Yeah, he didn't realize you were doing that with your hands.
Yeah. I'm doing that with my club when I hit a bad shot. I'm torching this place.
You're just like out there like a badger. You're just like.
Also, why do they make golf shoes that destroy golf courses? How stupid is that? Shouldn't all of them be fine for golf?
Noah, it's the circle of life.
Yeah. Like you can't wear Nikes on this court because it'll scuff up the wood. It's like, what? Why make them, right? So I buy these geriatric ass,
very relatable golf content. Yep. Go on.
Alyssa, you were over here trying to talk about the DNC, and half our listeners are gun owners in India. They hate it.
Gun owners in India?
Yeah, they are. They got their gats.
Okay.
Which is also their name. So I have to buy these shoes in a pinch. So I buy these white, disgusting nurse-looking shoes, but they're FootJoys, which are supposed to be so joyful for your feet.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
This is the Noah Savage experience, okay? For those of you who are uninitiated, something happens, and it's a solvable problem, usually with some sort of equipment, something you can purchase for not that much money. It's very solvable. Most normal people would then buy a couple pairs, go try them on, not wait until the very last minute, pick the only ones available, and then be like, my feet hurt. And they're covered in blisters. I
didn't get to that point yet.
Okay, sorry.
So
joy for your feet. Go on.
So I wear these ugly ass shoes. I'm like, at least they're FootJoys. They're going to feel amazing. Like FootJoys actually are a joy for your feet.
Are
Sponsor, dang, they're incredible.
So then, okay.
They're like Hokas. You're like, oh, these are disgusting, but they feel really good. So I wear them at your brother's little golf outing. My feet are bleeding through the shoe. It's like the bloody sock. But when I bought them, I'm trying to negotiate with this woman. I go, come on, these are on clearance. They're $100, but they're size 13. You're not going to sell them. What about 80? And she goes, I'm not trying to play. Let's make a deal. She is not charmed. I pay 100, right? So then my feet are bleeding. I'm already pissed. So I play a couple days ago, and I leave a club on one of the holes, which is a very normal golf occurrence. And typically you ask people behind you, did you find a club? No. Someone will find it and bring it back to the clubhouse, right? Do
you put your name on the clubs?
No.
Like, you know how like I get Henry ready for camp and I put his name on everything?
I take a little Sharpie. Ding, ding, ding.
Honestly, I think you should put your name on the clubs.
Well, I might have to because this lady's a nut. So I forget to go to the clubhouse to say I lost a club because I'm rushing home. And I call and I go, I lost a 56-degree wedge. And she goes, what brand was it? And I go, I don't know. I bought it separate. It could be Callaway. I don't know. She goes, just a golfer would know what kind of clubs he owns. And I wanted to be like,
she got your ass.
Well, did you find a club?
You're like, this is the Chip King, damn it.
She goes, well, I have a 56, but it's not a Callaway.
Oh.
I go, well, I played this morning. And did you find a club? You think I'm calling up golf courses just to be like, got any clubs? So I can drive around and pick up used clubs and sell them?
Also, this reminds me of my brother and my favorite Nextdoor post of all time.
Yes, go.
That was like, this woman was like, she's like, I found a cat. And then she's like, wait, the other person's like, well, can I see a picture? And then the first person's like, but did you lose a cat? It's so funny. Like, someone's just out here on Nextdoor being like, free cat.
Yeah.
Like, you can get a cat. It's not that hard to get a cat.
Oh, see, I see it as... Well,
like cat porn?
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I just wanted to see a picture of the cat. He doesn't even want the cat.
I know.
He's like, could you maybe post a picture of the cute little cuddly guy?
I know, but the person who initially posted, in their mind, they were like, you can have the cat if you can describe the cat. You know what I mean? Like, they were like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I found some money. I'm keeping it at the front desk. It's like, well, how much was it? And you're like, 40. They're like, we're not going to tell you. You have to tell us exactly how much it is, and then maybe we'll give it to you.
Yeah. So that's what she's doing with the golf club.
I know. It's funny.
And I wanted to be like, because I am in my era of not taking shit from nobody. Okay.
Including like a 70-year-old lady who works at the Yonkers golf course.
Golf cluck. Chicken head ass. Chicken heads in my studio. Get out. Where the chicken heads at? Where the chicken heads at?
Dylan has no idea what you're talking about.
No.
We learned about that in health class.
Yeah. Do you know what a chicken head is?
No.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. No, I'm not a chicken head.
But she was not charmed, and she's going, well, you're going to just have to come in and look at it. And I go, yes, I'm obviously going to have to come in to get the golf club.
Wow. Exciting. Well, as you know, I had to get a new phone this week.
Yeah, and I'm not going to undercut your funny story by saying exciting. I am excited because I decided to marry you 7 years ago.
Has it only been 7 years?
Have I told you my new
Feels like forever.
my new on-stage joke about it?
What?
I go, I've been married 7 years. 7 years a slave.
Jesus.
And it kills. It makes no sense because the movie's called 12 Years a Slave. And it still makes people laugh.
It's awful.
It's very Trumpy. It's just like
very
a
Trumpy.
stream of conscious.
Very Trumpy. Because
7
then people
years.
go, oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was 12 years. And then your brain kind of like short circuits because you're like, how many years was it?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, like, why is this white guy talking about being a slave? Like, Jesus.
It's like free association, but the association's wrong.
It's wrong. Yeah.
So then you're like correcting them in your head and you're not listening.
It's really awful. You take people on a ride that they like never signed up for. It's just like, ugh.
But it's a laugh.
My original joke about our marriage was after 1 year of marriage, and I was like, been married, it's been 1 year.
Yeah.
One down, one to go.
Yeah,
and
always
people love
works.
that. Yeah, yeah.
But you can do that with any amount of years,
I know.
I think.
I will.
7 years with 3 to go.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to do the slave bit. Just kidding. I never would.
Fucking Carla Mencia over here jacking my bits.
Listen, I'll take whatever joke I want. Are you kidding me?
You can take half my joke. You own half my jokes.
I own more than that. Ah!
Had a dust particle.
Was that a cat? That's the cat I found.
Yeah.
Can you see a picture of the cat? Did you lose a cat? It's the tone is perfection. So I got a new phone. My phone, as I was telling Dylan, it's not that my phone was dead in the sense that it was no longer functional. I was carrying it around, as my dad would say, like a brick in my bag, and the screen was completely white. And then sometimes just randomly in the middle of the night, it would be like, oh, you got a text. And it was like something that had happened 4 days ago. It was really bad. Do you know when I bought this phone?
2014.
2018.
Wow.
So it had a good life, I would say. So I roll up to, well, first of all, I tried to go to the Apple Store multiple times. The first time I went, the greeter took all my information and then told me to go stand by a table and told me it was going to be an hour plus
The
wait.
Apple Store is like a club in the 2010s. So
Yes.
Like, how many? One? Can't do one girl right now. You going to get a bottle? Here, go over to the bar. Like, they've created
Literally.
this thing, and people are so thirsty. Like, please, let me spend my money in here. They're like, we can't do it. We can't do it right now.
I didn't want to like blame this man because he just works there. It's not his rule. But I'm like, you want to tell me that, oh, sorry.
That bell goes off when you're killing.
Shout out to the text I just got from Amory, #1 listener.
From 6 days ago.
Yeah. No, now it's the new phone.
Oh.
So yeah, to wait over an hour to just spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on a product is unhinged. If I'm going to go to Louis Vuitton and I'm going to buy something, they will find a salesperson to get it for me, like immediately. They're going to make sure, like if you're coming in and you're like, I'm buying this Max Mara coat, It costs $3,000. They're not going to be like, it's going to be an hour for you to try on that coat. No. This is like a luxury product. You need, you want a glass of champagne. You need like, you know, your hair blown out, whatever. Like we will make it happen for you so that you buy this coat, right?
Also, I've always thought since they're going to make it a Genius bar, serve some drinks. We're at the bar, right? Wait, I have one more Apple thought before you get in your story.
Okay.
What number phone was your old phone?
It was the XR. Remember iPhone X?
10? So it was like a 10, but R for you know what.
Yep. For rich.
So when the 7 came out, I used to do a joke about how part of my whole genius technology chunk where I go, Apple's out of even features to tell us, but we're so addicted that we just buy it. Like they used to be like the newest phone, the newest whatever. And then when 7 came out, they were just like 7. And like there was no like
I'm so out of the loop that when he was like, well, do you know which new phone you want? I was like, what are we up to? 20? Like, what's the new phone? And he was like, I think you mean 15. I was like, I don't care. Like, you guys are saying numbers and that's fine. But like at one point, Sebastian, shout out Sebastian, my favorite sales rep there.
Maniscalco?
No. And he was like, I was like, well, what's the difference between like the 15 Max and the 15 Pro? He goes, it's a bigger screen. I'm like, I'm going to kill myself. Like, that is so dumb. You're going to pay another $150 for something that's like too big to fit in your hand. Who was that for? Just get an iPad.
I hate those phones. They're
it's so big. He's like, he goes, well, if you're filming a lot of high quality content, I was like,
oh, wait, now I'm in.
It's too big. You can't hold it. You have to put it on a tripod to use it.
You actually have to get another guy to walk around like Mr. Bentley and hold it up to your ear.
Okay, so listen. So I go in, I have my current phone that's not working, and then I brought also a bunch of other random phones I found around our house, including your old work phone, because I was like, well, they have a new program now where you can trade it in, right? So like for like a really old phone, maybe you're going to get like $40 or $50 off. But like for something that's like in the past 3 or 4 years, like you could get like $200 off. It's significant because they'll resell it, right? So... And I have 2 pairs of non-functioning AirPods. Okay, so I come to Sebastian because I finally found him.
You're holding a pile of garbage.
Well, so I left the store the first time. I came back another day because now my phone's like really not working and I'm kind of desperate. There's no greeter this time. I like flagged down this guy who looks like so annoyed to see me. I'm like, can you just make sure that someone is going to come over? And he goes, well, anyone in a blue shirt can help you. I go, so pick one and send them to me. I was like, I don't know how this works. I was like, last time there was a greeter and now there's no greeter. He's like, well, we're all pretty booked up. Fine. Just take my credit card. Hand me whatever you have. I don't care.
You're like, please, I want to spend money here. They're like, we can't.
I'm like, I'm going to spend $1,000.
We don't
like
have the technology.
More money than I've spent in like the past 4 years. I'm like, okay. I'm like, also, there's so many people there buying phones in cash. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Like, it was all 4 people in
Armenians.
line. No, seriously. All 4 people in front of me, they had to get out the like, cash, checker to make sure like the big bills were legit. I'm like, okay, so now in this scenario, you went to the bank, you took out all your money, and then you're like, here, Apple, and then they still make you wait. It's like, it's like cold hard cash is being forked over, and they're like, we really don't have time for you. So anyway, so I sit down with Sebastian. He obviously sees me. He's not happy because he thinks I'm going to be annoying, which I am. And I don't know anything about any of the phones. And he's trying to tell me about them. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I want to trade this one in. I'm like, how much can I get off for this one? And I'm like, it's from 2018. He's like, okay, well, what model is it? I'm like, I don't know, Sebastian. Like, work with me, okay? He is looking at it. He's like, oh, so like it won't turn on. He's like, are these cracks on the screen? I'm like, no, that's the screen protector. So he takes off my case and the whole back is shattered.
Yeah.
And he's like, so I can't take this phone back. And I'm like, fine. Okay, so forget the trade-in. I was like, what about these other old random phones? And he's like, well, let's see if we can turn them on. Okay, this is another boondoggle that takes 10 minutes of him trying to turn on a phone that won't turn on. Then I'm like, how about these ear pods? Like, can I get new ear pods? And he's like, well, you should take them downstairs, the Genius Bar. I go, okay. And he's like, I can make you an appointment if you want to wait here for an hour. I'm like, no, I don't want to wait here for an hour. I'm like, now, like, let's just at least get the phone going, right?
Yeah.
So we decide on a phone, how much it's going to cost. You have to like contact Verizon, but the whole process is like much easier than it used to be because like they just look you up and it's all like digital, right?
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you ever know a type of person who just like had a cracked screen and just lived with it?
Yeah.
Wasn't
me.
that like such a type of person?
Me.
No, because you have like a protector that had like a little crack, but there'd be people that are like
Smashed.
their
I
screen is
know.
shattered, and they're just like, and you're like, you're just gonna like live with that, and they're like, yeah, it's
And they're
like,
getting like shards of glass in their hand.
yeah, like
yeah.
your life is in shambles.
Yes.
That's the number one life in shambles.
But also, you know,
personality.
You can just like, I mean, I know it's expensive, but you can like bring your phone to one of those places and just like get a new screen.
Only. Yeah.
Anyway, so Sebastian finally starts to like warm up to me, and we're talking about shoes and whatever. And then he's like, okay, so we decide on the phone, and he takes my credit card, and he's like, so I just need you to enter your Apple ID, and then we can like start the transfer, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, watch this. Type it in, first try. It goes through.
Yeah.
He high-fived me. He goes, that's never happened
Was
before.
the phone free?
I was like,
won the golden ticket.
I was like, is Steve Jobs going to pop up and be like, you did it? Like, finally, someone remembered he was like, we were all laughing. Like, Randy got involved. We were like.
That's how you win Powerball. They just all the money just drops down.
They couldn't believe it. I
can't believe it.
I know.
I have no idea what my, my first name is usually,
right.
But I don't even usually know the ID. Forget the password.
Okay, Jesus.
I'm like, N Savage? They're like, no. I'm like, Savage Man.
They're like, what's your name?
I'm like, I don't know where I am, but I'd rather die than own a Samsung. I'll tell you that much right now.
So the process at Apple now is that, so now I've completed my journey with Sebastian, aka Sebas. We really got close. And
yes.
Then they shuffle you over to this other like losers table where they basically wait for your data to download from the cloud.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just like boomer clickbait. They're like, sit here while your stuff comes from the cloud. And you're like, what? I'm an idiot. Like, and then they're like, Randy's here to help you now because I have to go sell more products even though I don't get a commission on these products. And I'm like, so then why don't you just sit here? What's the difference, right? So then Randy's there. I'm sitting with this mom and her daughter. The daughter needs a new Apple Watch. The mom's buying it for her. And it becomes clear to me that the only reason she's getting a new Apple Watch is because she just doesn't like her old Apple Watch. And the mom is just like, fine, whatever. So then they're talking about Apple Care. And also, like, now you're sitting at the table with these people. It's like a communal table at, like, what's that restaurant? Le Pen Cotillon? You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
You have to sit at the community table and...
Yeah, come have a bowl of coffee.
Yeah, have a bowl of coffee
Le Pen can suck my nuts.
And half a loaf of bread with a bunch of strangers, okay?
Dylan likes Le Pen.
Au bon pain or Le Pen Cotillon.
Do you like all that stuff?
Where is this place?
Oh, he has no idea what it is.
These are chain cafes.
Can't afford it. Look at him.
It's like a Panera.
He's a Dunkin' Donuts man. Leave him alone.
Remember how they put a Panera on the Upper West Side?
Yeah, and people
So
are like,
depressing.
did it open yet?
I don't know.
There used to be 2 McDonald's in the Upper West Side the first time we lived there. And man, they got rid of those things fast. They were like, not in our hood.
Okay. Anyway, so they put you at this other table, and then she's like, okay, well, I need a new Apple Watch. And then they're talking about Apple Care. Mm-hmm. Apple Care just is like for the physical protection of your phone. Yeah. And they do this whole, talk about like sex ed, scared straight nonsense. Yeah. They're like, if you walk out of here today and you drop your phone, which now all the phones are completely made out of glass for some reason. They're like, if you drop your phone,
that's how they get you.
They go, we can't help you.
Yeah.
We can't help you. You can't help me. I just bought it.
Well, nothing we can do. And also, you're like, am I buying a timeshare?
I was like, okay, but you kind of are. Yeah. And then this woman was like yelling at her daughter. She's like, well, you need Apple Care. She's like, because I know you. She's like, you're dancing. You're working out. You're going to school. I'm like, dancing is number one.
Yeah.
First thing she's doing is dancing with her Apple Watch.
Does that cause a lot of watches to be broken?
I don't know. I'm like, isn't it like on your wrist? It was like, I got out of there. First of all, I never
on my wrist.
They didn't take any of my old phones. They were basically like, these need to be recycled and we don't care. I didn't get any money off. At one point, Verizon charged me $35 for like the transfer fee. And then Apple was like, but don't worry, we took that off your bill. And I'm like, oh, good. So it's $1,100 instead of like $1,135.
They take all the old phones, I picture, and then they go, oh, thank you. Well, and then they dump it into a pile, and then a steamroller just crushes them immediately. That's what I picture.
I'm like, they're all still in my bag. I'm like, why did I bring these to the store? What was the point of any of this?
Apple, Google, all the big tech, constantly charging me little fees. Mm-hmm. No idea what it does. $10.99 a month. Google storage. $1.99 here.
He was telling me, he's like, okay, so Apple Care is like $8.99 a month or $7.99 a month. I'm like, okay. He goes, or you can pay $200 today for 2 years. And I'm like, I can't look this up on my phone because it's broken.
What I don't understand is, listen, first of all, fees. I just had a stroke.
First of all, fees.
Clip it. What I was going to say is that...
Did you say fleas?
It's the same thing as leasing a car. It never made sense to me. So I'm going to pay you a down payment, $4,000. Then I'm going to pay you every month. Do I own the car? No. You get the car back. It's like, Apple, I can just save my money, and then if I do break the phone, I'll just buy a new phone. Rather than this like...
But this sends me down a whole wave of thoughts that are just terrible, because then I think about like my apartment and I'm like, every month I pay into the void.
Correct.
And every month my apartment gets a little worse. It'll never get fixed. It'll never get better.
But what's the difference?
I can leave.
No down payment.
I know, but I also don't own it, and I also can't there's no point in me investing in making it better. No. Like, did you ever have a friend who like moved into their apartment and they were like, oh, I painted and I put in like built-in shelves and I like put up these curtains, and I'm like, you did? Why?
Yes, I do have stupid friends. Yes, thanks for asking.
But the alternative is you come to my house where it's like essentially like a prison cell with like absolutely no decorations or investment in like the quality or care of the furniture. Like, everything is basically bad. And then I'm like, yeah, but it's temporary. Like, at any point, this man who like lives up in Canada could be like, get out of my house.
Coming back.
Right.
Yeah.
So
well, isn't it all temporary, Alyssa?
For sure.
That's what we have to realize. We're all just temporary beings rotating through the world. Thank you.
We remember.
I don't want a nice couch. If that couch we have that was whatever, 7 G's that I sit on every single day.
$7,000?
How much was our couch?
You think we bought a couch for $7,000?
I sure do. I sure do. Every day.
Do you really think that?
I don't know. I think we had a several $1,000 bill that I paid for.
Do you think I would buy a $7,000 couch just to let my son repeatedly pee all over it?
I guess we bought a bed, 2 rugs, and a couch, and it maybe was like $3,000. But like,
yeah, I think it was, and a chair. We bought the rocking chair, a rug, a bed frame, and a couch.
Yeah,
and I think the whole bill was like $4,000 total.
Oh God. Okay. Well, and my point is that couch is good enough for me. We don't need to. Let's never level up our couches.
Well, it smells like urine, but besides that, it is lovely.
Well, because several family members pee on the couch nonstop, which is...
Honestly, the pee I can deal with. It's the vomit is really what gets you. That'll get you.
Quick Henry story. This is the boomerest podcast ever.
We are boomers now.
We're like, that's how they get you the fees. I don't pay them. Henry in the park yesterday, we're standing outside and he pulls down his pants, starts peeing. So then I'm like, buddy, we don't pee outside in the middle of this nice park. But also, like, I'm not going to like pull your pants up while you're peeing and have you wet your pants.
Also, I don't care about that. He can pee in the park.
I said that for the other parents. I was super pumped that he was peeing in the park.
Because he did that with me once, and he actually walked over to the side and like peed like in the bushes. Yeah. Now, obviously, this is not something I'm teaching him to do, but if the alternative was like wetting his pants, I'm like, this is not the big of a deal. He wasn't peeing like into the playground. Like it was like just in the bushes. Like it was okay.
He was drinking. So it's like, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah. He broke the seal. Yeah. He already had like 3 or 4 Miller Lights. And I was like, he's got to go.
It's like Pearl Jam. No,
also,
so he peed. Wait. Let me tell the punch of the story, which is he peed and then he pulled his pants up and he said, I'll never give up. I don't know how he associated the two, but I was like, this guy rules. Like, he just peed outside and was like, never give up.
I mean, I don't even know. What else was I going to talk to you about?
Check some notes.
Maybe nothing.
No idea.
All right, let's wrap it up then.
Oh, Sex in the City real quick. And then we'll do How Old is Our Celebrity? I have to look mine up. Oh, you'll never get mine. Should we do that now since I stopped the entire show's momentum as
and
usual?
I have to figure one out.
Momentum killer, ding ding. Because this is going to be a clip. This clip did surprisingly well. This is how stupid the internet is. And if anybody's listening to this podcast, you're an idiot.
Honest to God.
No, we love our fans. Shout out India. I posted this clip, How Old is That Celebrity? It's like one of our best clips.
Okay.
All right, so you ready?
So hit me.
All right. What is this? What do we really call this segment?
How old is that celebrity?
That's it? Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson is... 44.
Pretty good. 42.
Wow.
I thought she was like 54.
How? She's like our age.
I don't consider her our age because she was famous when I was a kid.
What?
So I consider her older than me. 42 is young as H. I'm working on not swearing as much.
Yeah, she's young.
This is also how we talk around our kids because we don't want to swear in front of them. I'm like, I'm mad as S. Get the F out of this H. We're just saying letters left and right.
Okay. I'm going to do one.
Ooh, and if I get it right, if I get it exactly right, I get a kiss.
No. Gross.
Hey.
You're canceled. Since we're talking about people with talk shows, how old is Ellen DeGeneres?
Oh, 63.
No, 66.
66.
Yeah, she's old.
She look good.
She does look good.
She look good for 66.
All right, and then this is what came up on my phone afterwards, so you get to do a bonus one. Ready?
All right.
How old is Mike Lindell? Of My Pillow.
My Pillows. I designed and invented a pillow because Jesus Christ came down from a mountain and told me to. I sound more like Funkhauser.
Yeah, you do.
Hold on. You do yours again so I can do mine.
I'm Mike Lindell.
Keep going.
I'm stuck inside my pillow.
Help, let me out of my pillow. I bought all the ad space on Fox News for 6 years to sell pillows.
Can anybody hear me?
When Jesus Christ told me to design a pillow from the mount.
When God told me to sit myself inside this pillow. All right, how old is he?
Also, the pillow is like fine. I have one.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Because I want to support that guy.
Sure.
He's 71.
Ready for this one?
Yeah.
63.
Wow, he looks like shit. Hey, Mike Lindell, you look like shit.
I really did not see that one coming.
Pew, pew, pew. Mike Lindell looks like crap. All right, let's talk a little Sex in the City as a man who has seen every episode ever.
Okay, so I am doing a Sex in the City rewatch, and sorry, I have to send an email.
Just send a work email during our show.
Sorry, but
someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do something around here.
I don't do much.
Nope. Edit that out, Dylan. She has a real job. She does a lot. And we need that money coming in. Yep, this isn't a bit. We're really doing this email. I thought you were kidding.
I'm not kidding because I just realized what time it was. Okay, so do you know what time it is? Showtime.
Oh, that was a Subway impersonation?
First of all, do you like the Subway dancers?
No. I like when you do impersonations, and I think that the listeners like it too.
Okay, I disagree. I'm terrible at impressions.
You're very good.
Really?
Yeah.
I can do Elmo, and that's pretty much it.
You do Asian voice, black voice. And
I do not.
You do all the hits.
I just do Elmo. It's a monster's voice.
Yeah, can you do Elmo real quick?
Okay, hold
on. Noah, do you think that it's time to play with Elmo? Elmo thinks it's time to play basketball.
See, it's very good.
I get better at Elmo when he like becomes a little bit more deranged when he's like,
Elmo thinks that it's not the letter of the day.
like when he gets like crazier.
Can I tell you something? Who the F is Mr. Noodle? Mr. Noodle.
Mr. Noodle is
He's the neighbor. He's always like,
He's a clown.
oh, he's just a clown. Okay.
He's a clown.
All right, Sex and the City.
Okay, so I'm watching Sex and the City, and obviously it's like a mental journey. I'm already up to Baryshnikov, Alexander Petrovsky.
Yep.
Which is just it. First of all, the Burger situation. Burger is a loser from day one, and it makes absolutely no sense that she's like, "Oh, I love him." I'm like, "You do?
Burger's
He's awful."
The lead from Office Space.
Yes.
Who's a phenomenal actor who I love.
He's a great actor. The performance is great, but I'm saying the whole time
He's
you're
a
like,
motorcycle. He's a writer, right?
yeah, he's like a failing writer.
They meet in the Hamptons.
No, they meet
At a party in the Hamptons.
No, he shows up at the party in the Hamptons, but remember they meet and then they hang out all day. They meet at her publisher's.
Oh, yeah.
And then they hang out all day. And then he's like, also like, blah, 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 my girlfriend. And she's like, why wouldn't he mention his girlfriend earlier? I'm like, because he's a dick. And then then he breaks up with the girlfriend. He comes to her book party. Then his book option gets canceled and he like cries about it. And she's like, I didn't know it got canceled. And it's like, oh my God, like the amount of tiptoeing she does around this man's like wounded ego is so draining, because at this point in the show she's like 40, she's had multiple serious relationships. I'm like, well, this guy is the worst.
Rank her relationships. This would be a good clip too. Your boy thinks like a producer. I'm the Scott Stewart of YouTube Shorts, baby.
From what to what?
Worst of her serious relationships on the show, and then I'll go worst to first. Sex and the City. Go.
Well, it's hard to say because I do think she was supposed to end up with Big. Always.
She did, didn't she?
Yes, but
and he died.
He dies, yeah.
Ugh.
Also, Chris Noth is canceled.
Canceled. Bye, Chris.
I think Aiden is horrible. I think Burger is horrible. And Petrovsky really creeps me out. And
you know what's a line that lives in my head? Yeah, Borowski makes no sense, but it makes sense because
Petrovsky.
Carrie loves to be walked all over. She's like, please, you don't want me.
But can I tell you, the dress that he gets her from Oscar de la Renta is perfection. She obviously can wear anything, but that dress is gorgeous.
How about
and
the Vera
I would buy it
Wang
right
dress
now.
from the movie? Oh,
Another wedding dress. That's different. Okay, but then my other issue with the show is that Miranda is dating the doctor from the Knicks, who she's having the best sex of her life.
Yep.
And he loves her son, and he's like getting her pizzas, and he's like doing all this like nice stuff for her. And then she's like, JK, I love Steve. I'm like, what? The whole thing with Steve was that you were
she
like,
loves Steve.
I understand, but like her relationship with Steve was always like, I need something different. I need a different kind of person. I need a partner who's going to like match my freak. You know what I mean? And then she's like, she sees him with Debbie, who like is just like a cute girl from Brooklyn. And she's like, no, JK, I want that. Mm-hmm. It makes, I understand that they have a kid together. And so obviously there's like a different kind of connection.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. She like literally is just like.
But it's a realistic portrayal of a man and woman relationship because he's cool and she's crazy. Okay, if she would just chill the F out and realize you got a cool, normal guy, he wants to go play basketball in his Converses. Miranda, can you watch? It was really important to me that you watch me play basketball. You know what line lives in my head? Real quick side note that I hate and makes me hate Aiden.
I hate Aiden. So go ahead.
She wants to go out to the club because she's a freaking dumb bee, as you know. And he's like,
Carrie.
Yeah.
Oh, rub my.
He goes, I ate too much chicken. Can you rub my belly? I'm like, freaking kill yourself. My belly, you little whiny little furniture making bitch. I hate Aiden. When they fight, I'm like, kill his ass. When Big goes up.
You never got a belly rub?
I've never said the word belly. What am I? Yeah. The only time I've heard belly is pork belly when I'm eating it.
That's fair.
It's
also,
like that,
belly is what they always say on the survival shows. Where like, I just want to fill my belly with belly with meat that we shot in the Sahara. I'm like,
it's like the Will Ferrell sketch. Like, before my lover fills her belly with goat meat. It's like,
I don't even call the kids stomachs, bellies.
No.
Oh, make sure you put something in your belly. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
I say belly dancer because that's an actual thing.
Yeah.
Tummy is more.
Tummy, yes.
Here's my Carrie rank relationship.
Okay.
Number 1 is big, obviously,
Right.
because she's a gold digging hoe and he's rich, so it's a good match.
Okay.
Number 2 is Barishnikov because
Ew.
he's aloof and he's actually got something going on. He's an artist and he's like, leave me alone. I'm doing art, and she should understand that because she's a writer. Number 3, is Berger even a serious relationship?
Yeah. They say I love you, and he breaks up with her on a Post-it.
All right, Berger's 3. Because he did do that. That was a little bit twee of him to break up on a Post-it. And Aiden is like the absolute worst.
I feel like there's another one that we're forgetting.
People loved Aiden in the 2000s because he had that kind of like, what's up, babe? Like thing that people liked.
Ugh.
You know? He was like, yeah,
She
I'm
also
in a bar.
She also like the time elapses in a way
I make
that
furniture.
Stop. That makes absolutely no sense. Like she breaks up with Aiden, then she runs into him like 4 months later, and he has like a full baby and a baby Bjorn. And she's like, oh, you got married. I'm like, when? Like 2 weeks ago? I was like, was the woman already pregnant? Because this makes no sense.
He's 10 years older. She's
And then
like, what?
he's like, my wife is a decorator and she's inside. Like, you've got to meet her. I'm like, you guys broke up like 4 weeks ago. Like, you want to meet the new wife?
You don't need to meet anybody ever.
Nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, if we used to date and I see you coming towards me with a baby Bjorn,
Yep.
I'm turning. I'm like, goodbye. I'm glad you have a baby now. Never speak to me. If we lock eyes from across the street, I will call the police. I don't care. I'm like, I don't want to even pretend that I know you.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. If someone sees me from afar and is like, oh, I think that's Alyssa, think again. It's not. I really don't. I like the whole, she does a whole episode on it, but it's like the whole, like, can you be friends with your ex? No, unless you actively have children together.
There's no need. We've covered this many times off and on pod, but there's no need to ever be friends with your ex unless they're gay now. Then it's acceptable.
Okay. Or you have kids together and you have to co-parent.
I only had 2 what I would call real relationships like before you, and I don't mind seeing those people because I'm the exact same as I was when I was 16, only I just keep winning.
Sure.
I keep winning. So when I see them, they go, God damn, he's winning again. And I go, that's right. And then I turn around and they see my stupid little bald spot. And I go, they're all not wins. Sometimes you take an L on the top of your head.
I'm glad that you've stayed the same since you were 16. It's really a charming thing about you.
I haven't progressed at all. And also, I got some news for the haters up in New Haven or whatever that your cousin said.
Slut fire at all y'all?
Yes, exactly. Is that I tried doing it your way. I tried to be nicer. I tried to be understanding. I tried to get on Twitter and understand the world from the, that perspective.
Wait, let me just contextualize that comment that you just made because it is funny. Years ago, my cousin Lee and I were stuck in traffic and we were listening to some local radio station and in Connecticut. And this woman calls in and she gets some trivia question right. And the DJ's like, that's great. Like, you won whatever tickets. Like, is there anything you want to say, like before we like play the next song? And she's like, yeah. Actually, there is. And he's like, okay, go ahead. Like, usually people are like, shout out to whoever. She goes, to all my haters up in New Haven, I'ma slap fire out of all y'all. All y'all don't even know.
All right. Well, you've been on
He goes, all right, thanks, Amanda. Like, we'll be talking I was like, this was an iconic call, and that DJ just did not see that one coming from a mile away. It was amazing. Anyway,
I think maybe the whole pod should be us watching Sex and the City again. I keep wanting to switch the whole pod.
Well, the other part that I just talked to my sister about it, but it's like, it's the time when you go break up with this man. Mm-hmm. She's with Aiden, and it's a very relatable scene because she comes in, he just moved in, they're gonna like take over the apartment next door, but they're like sharing the small space to start. Mm-hmm. And she's like getting annoyed because every time she walks in the door, he's like, hey, where you been? What do you know? What do you see? Where'd you go? Like very annoying. Like, can I have a minute to like put my stuff down, whatever? And it's annoying to her. And so there's one part of the episode where it like snowballs into an actual fight. And she's like, she goes, oh, shut up. And he goes, shut up? Shut up. And she goes, yes, shut up.
Wait, it's Carrie to Aiden?
Yes.
I don't remember that part.
Oh my God, it's so funny because then she's just like going through all his stupid shit. And she's like, go crazy with your speed stick and your Rogaine, like whatever, like because his stuff is everywhere. Yeah. He yells at her for having too many shoes or something, but it's really like, I'm like, this is already, you're just demonstrating how not compatible you are. And anyway, Aiden is so annoying to me.
When she goes up to the cabin, the first time I watched, I go, she's being so uncool because she's not cool with this muddy cabin. But I just realized you're not that guy. Carrie, you're not that guy.
Ugh. First of all, they make it seem like the cabin is in like the Catskills, but it's actually just in Rockland County. It's like 20 minutes away. It's like literally just like over the Tappan Zee. It's so close.
Dumb idiots. What I was going to say is that I was right all along, that I shouldn't have changed, and who I was when I was 16 was correct. So I wanted to just announce that to the internet. But I do want to talk more.
No, we got to go, man.
No, I'm talking next time. I want to talk more Sex and the City. I find your passion infectious.
Can I tell you something? It's one of those shows that I've seen so many times, and yet I keep watching it. Although I have to say, like, the later seasons, it's a rare show for me where, like, the later seasons, I'm like, it actually became, like, more in touch with reality. Like, some of the stuff, and I know, like, some of it's, like, my age and whatever, but, like, some of the stuff becomes, like, more, like, not realistic, but just like a little bit more interesting, a little bit more funny. Like, I don't know, like the stuff that she's like doing and saying it's still like silly.
Yeah.
And you're not sitting there going, how can she afford it? But it's like, I don't know. I like it a little bit more than I used to.
We have to, I don't know if I ever found, we have to find the Christina Aguilera on
I found
SNL. It's so good.
But it's also like,
it's her best performance.
There's a lot of, there's terminology that she uses in that is like no longer appropriate.
Well, I'll tell you something. I rewatched Waiting with your favorite comedian, Dane Cook.
My favorite.
It's very funny and very joke dense, but man, is it R word. Like it is all the canceled words. Not once, not twice, like 45 times in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because it's and it's super, super homophobic. The whole thing is you're gay. And I'm like, whoa, it really is jarring, and it's a shame because it's really funny, and a lot of it is about showing.
But you told me about the Christina Aguilera thing, and so I was like, oh, I want to see it, and it took me like a while to find, and I was like, why is this so buried? And then I watched it for 12 seconds, I go, and that's why.
Yeah.
Because Christina Aguilera was like, burn this off the internet. Like, I do not want a clip of me saying that word to be out, because it's like obviously dated or whatever, but also like, I mean, she's like LGBT friendly, like she's not like someone who's like out here like trying to be whatever. So I'm like, they definitely buried this clip like deep down on the internet.
Yeah, she's like, baby, I was born this way.
God.
All right, good episode. See you next week.
What is that?